Hi guys, welcome to Verbling. My name is Hina, and now I am back for another hour to speak to you guys about a very interesting topic, which is cheating in schools and how students should be punished for it, if they should be punished at all. Okay? So, wow, classes like I just started broadcast and classes like half full. So, we have a couple of premium account users. Jarno, you're a premium account user, right?
Nope.
No, I know Yuri is. I know Yuri is a premium account user. Who else is a premium account user in class? Or is everybody here based on reservations? Reservations? Yes. Lots of new faces. So we have Elaba, Will, Bipa, Ahmed. Wow, lots of familiar, lots of new faces and a couple of familiar ones. We have Jarno and we have Yuri. So that's awesome. I'm so happy you guys are here in class with me. So today's topic is going to be a speaking class, and we're going to be discussing if students nowadays in schools and universities and colleges, if they're under too much pressure to achieve high marks in order to succeed. All right. And if they are, then a lot of students, they resort to cheating. So they start cheating, they, slack off, they cut class, they do whatever it is they need to do to, pass or move on to the next level. And we'll talk about acceptable punishments for doing that and whether or not the education system needs to, become a little more, laid back, because students are under so much pressure that they are resorting to cheating to moving forward. So we're going to be talking about a couple of issues in school. I recently graduated from university, so I know how stressful it can be, like the expectation. It's like, if I don't do really well in my bachelor's, I'm not going to be able to study for my master's, all right? So it's a lot of pressure. So we're going to be talking about how students react in order to help themselves deal with that pressure. All right. So let's start. There is actually a document that I have attached with this class. Did everybody open it?
Yes,
Yep, it works.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, it works.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to just post it here in the Verbling chat as well for all those who weren't able to open it or who are new. I just want to ask, is this someone's first time on Verbling? Is it like your first day and this is like your 15th hour and you haven't slept in like 2 days? Okay, no one like, okay, all right, no one like that. Oh,
Me.
Yeah, Yuri's, I think, Yuri, did you mention in the last class you're an Englishaholic? You're a Verblingaholic?
Yes.
Yuri,
Yes,
Yuri,
now yes.
Yuri loves Verbling so much, he has a premium account. So
Yes.
I
Guys, do it. Do it, guys.
Do it. Yeah, so a lot of students, so I'm actually surprised when class started, there are like 6 spots were already taken. So for a lot of students, the more people who upgrade to a premium account, the more reservations they'll be making. And it might be that the students who wait for the spots to open up might not get a spot. So if you want to ensure there's space for you in a class, if you want to have unlimited reservations, then you will have to upgrade to a premium account. And your first week is free. So, I mean, there's always that incentive, all right? I love that word, free. I love it. All right, so let's start. A couple of people are using Google Chat. I'm not going to be using Google Chat in this class. We're going to be using Verbling Chat, okay? So, all right, so there's a spot now open, 5, 6, 7, yeah. And we have Wolf. Hi, Wolf. Wolf.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. Wolf, I've noticed that you really like debate topics.
No, I mean, it's good opportunity to speak. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a good to improve for everybody to verbal skills. I think
Yeah.
most crucial part in English.
I know. When I schedule speaking classes, I'm always like, I know Wolf is gonna join me in a speaking class. So it's really nice to have you here with us, Wolf. And we also have We have Norbert, and we have Wanderson. Welcome again, Wanderson. And a couple of new faces. Oh, Ibrahim from the last class is here. So that's great. So let's quickly go through and introduce ourselves to everybody else. I was teaching the last class, and a lot of students from the last class are in this class. So let's just quickly say our name. Let's say where we're from, and let's say how long we've been using Verbling. All right, because I'm saying, like, I can see new faces. So I want to see how long the new faces have been here. So I'll start. Welcome everyone. My name is Hina. I am your teacher for today. I'm from Canada. Right now I live in San Francisco in California, and I have been teaching on Verbling for a little over 2 months now. Okay, so let's start with Ahmed.
Yeah, hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you, Ahmed?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, so do you want to introduce yourself? Tell us where you're from and how long you've been using Verbling.
Hello, everybody. I am Ahmed. I've been using Verbling since yesterday.
Have you slept?
I'm from.
Have you slept since using Verbling? There's so many students who start using Verbling and they're like, oh my god, I haven't slept in like 24 hours. Okay, so that's awesome. So you're new, so welcome.
Thank you. I'm from Syria, but I live in Saudi Arabia.
Okay. Awesome. So it's really nice to have you join us here on Verbling and in my class, all right? I hope you enjoy it.
Me too.
Next we have Ibrahim.
Hello, Hina.
Hi. I can hear like an echo. Can everybody hear my echo? Okay, so I'm just gonna say if everybody could keep themselves muted when they're not talking, that would be great, because otherwise all the traffic noise and all the echoing might make me go crazy. Okay, so Ibrahim, can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, Ibrahim.
How are you, Hina?
I'm fine. Welcome back. Just want to say where you're from and how long you've been using Verbling.
I am Ibrahim from Jordan. I using I can hear you.
Oh my god. Okay, so Ibrahim, I think you have two windows open. You probably have the Verbling window as well as the Google Hangout. So you need to close the Verbling window, all right? Otherwise, there's going to be a crazy echo for you and everything you hear will be lagged, okay? So I'll come back to you, okay, Ibrahim? Let's move on to Jarno. Oh my god. Okay, so
Hello. Nice to meet you all. I'm Jarno, I'm from Finland, and I'm Yuri's neighbor. And I've been here for maybe several days. I found this in this week, and I'm so happy. And this is an excellent way to learn English and communicate. Woohoo!
That's awesome. Woohoo! Oh, yay! Jarno's excited. So Jarno,
Yep.
you are actually the neighbor of Verbling, because the co-founders of Verbling are from Sweden.
Oh!
Yeah, so
Swedish.
they're Swedish.
Okay.
So you're actually Verbling's very, very close neighbor.
Okay, woohoo!
Yeah. So
It's
that's
cool
awesome.
as well.
Yeah, thank you, Jarno. Next we have Norbert.
Hey guys, I'm Norbert from Hungary, and I've been using Verbling for 4 months.
Perfect.
4 months.
So 4 months. Perfect. Thanks, Norbert. Next we have Wanderson.
Yes, hi. My name is Wanderson. I'm from Brazil, and today it's been 1 month I've been here in Verbling.
So what? It's Wanderson's 1 month anniversary, people?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Welcome, Wanderson. Really nice to have you. Next we have Will. Is it Will?
It's Willy.
Willy. I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Like the I's and the L's all look the same. Okay, Willy.
Yeah. Hi there. I'm from Germany. I'm Willy, and I'm still a student, and I've been using Verbling since yesterday. Well, I'm quite excited.
Yes, we're excited to have you. Yay! Welcome, Willy. Really nice to have you join us on the community. Next we have Wolf. Wolf? Can you hear
Hello?
me? Yes.
Yeah, sorry, what was the question?
Oh, so just introduce yourself and tell us how long you've been using Verbling.
Yeah, I'm Wolf. I live in South Africa. I've been using Exactly, I don't know. I think maybe 2 months, something like that.
2 months. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, both. Next, we have Yuri.
Hi, I'm Yuri from Russia. I'm using a Verbling from the 3rd of February. It's
So
1 month.
So your anniversary is coming up too. So in 2 days is Yuri's anniversary.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you, Yuri. And lastly, we have Bepa.
Hello, my name is Vera. I write
Vera.
my name in chat here because it's in Cyrillic. Yeah,
Vera.
I'm from Russia and I've been using Verbling maybe for 4 months approximately.
Oh, that's awesome. So this is actually your first class with me, right, Vera?
I think yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. This is really, really nice to have you join us. I'm always excited to see new students. Okay, so looks awesome. You guys, lots of new faces, lots of familiar ones. It should be a good class. So today's class is not really a debate class, but more like speaking, and I'm sure we'll be sharing our opinions, so there will be a debate aspect to it. And we are going to be talking about cheating in schools and universities or colleges, and how students are under a lot of pressure to perform well, and when they just can't make it to the mark, they resort to cheating. And what are some acceptable punishments for this crime? All right. So there is a document that I have attached with the class description. If everybody was able to open it, I'm going to be sharing that document. I'm going to be sharing my screen, and you guys will be seeing that document. So we're going to work through the questions in that, and then we'll learn some vocabulary and just have a discussion on the topic. So if everybody's ready, let's start. Yes.
We are ready.
All right.
Ready, go ahead.
Yeah, and I'd love it if everybody had an opportunity to express their opinion and say what they felt about the topic. So we're going to be reading this little not article, but this little box later on. Let's go through the pre-reading warm-up questions. So cheating and plagiarism in school. What is plagiarism? This word right here, plagiarism.
Here.
Yeah. What is plagiarism?
Plagiarism is to steal someone's work.
To steal someone's work without giving them credit. Okay?
Yes.
All right. So plagiarism is, for example, like I studied biology when I was in university. And if I read a paper that was published in, say, Nature magazine or Scientific America, and somebody discovered something, and I wrote a report on it to my professor and said, this is my discovery. I discovered it. Give me credit for it. Okay? So that would be plagiarism. I stole somebody's idea, or I stole somebody else's work and claimed it as my own. I did not give the person who actually worked for it, I did not give him or her credit. I said it was my work and give me credit for it.
Yeah,
okay?
The rights.
Yeah, so I did not give the person the correct rights. I stole their rights, That's why people copyright. People copyright and people patent stuff because others can easily steal their ideas, all right? So cheating and plagiarism in schools. There's a big website that people plagiarize off all the time. What is that website? Starts with a W.
Google. Wikipedia.
Wikipedia. People plagiarize from Wikipedia left, right, and center. When I was
it's very dangerous.
Yeah.
Teachers as well.
Copy and paste.
Yeah, everybody knows what's going on, right? When I was in university, it was like the first day of every class. Without exception, what course I was taking, it was please do not plagiarize off Wikipedia. Every teacher in my university in every class said that because students think they won't get caught, right? They'll be like, oh, copy, paste, report, submit. That's plagiarism. They don't even cite it, okay? To cite it. Cite it is when you give references, okay? So they'll copy, paste, submit the report. They won't even give credit to Wikipedia or whoever it is who actually wrote that article. They'll just be like, yeah, this is my idea and these are my words, when they're not really. So you cheated, you plagiarized, all right? Plagiarism is a very, very big issue nowadays because of the internet. There's like billions and billions of resources to use, so people easily plagiarize and they think they won't get caught, but just as easy as it is to plagiarize, you can easily get caught as well, all right? There's this software that they use in schools. It's called turnitin.com, okay? And what teachers do is that when I was in high school, which is about, oh my God, like 10 years ago. Oh my God, I'm so old. Anyways, so when I was in high school 10 years ago.
I don't hear it.
When I was in high school 10 years ago, this website came out, turnitin.com. And so what teachers started doing was they wanted students to write their reports or their papers on the computer and then submit it to this website, because this website compared their paper against the internet. So they would run this paper through all the resources on the internet and try to see if this paper was plagiarized or not. Okay? So if you copy pasted an article, even a sentence from any website, and you did not cite it, you would be caught. So it was very, very scary to submit my paper to this website, all right? But if you didn't plagiarize, if you didn't cheat, then you had nothing to worry about. But you know, a lot of students 10 years ago, it was very rampant. It was just like copy, paste, cheat, submit, nobody's gonna know, all right? So it was a big issue, and it still is. You know, people find ways around it all the time, okay? So we're going to be talking about some of this and just answering these questions. So let's see. The first question, what was the punishment for cheating in your high school? I want to go through everybody, and I would like you guys to individually tell me what the punishment was in your high school for cheating. So Ahmed.
Actually, depends. If
Okay.
it's the first time, it's not a problem. Only you will take his paper and move it into another class.
What do you mean?
For example, you are having an exam with your friends in the same class. They will take you and put it in another class.
So they'll
Put you in
take-
another class. Yeah.
Okay, so if you were cheating with your friends on an exam, then you would just be taken to another room.
If it's the first time. The second time, they will exclude you from the exam.
Oh, so you would not be allowed to write the exam.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah, that sounds about pretty standard. Okay, thank you, Ahmed. Next we have Ibrahim. Hi, Ibrahim. Hi.
The punishment of person who stolen the effort of the other student.
Yeah.
The punishment of the person who stole the effort of other person. You should prevent from complete the exam and take 0 in the exam.
Okay, all right, yeah. Perfect. Thank you, Ibrahim. What about you, Jarno?
It wasn't problem back then. You know, we used books, so but we always had to you know, give credits for outro and you know, mark the
Okay.
references. You know.
Okay. What about cheating? Cheating, like copying somebody else's homework or cheating on an exam or cheating on a test. What was the punishment for that?
I think it was, you know, you just fail the exam and you have to take a retake. You know.
You have to do a retake.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Perfect. Thank you, Jarno. Next, Norbert.
I have an old professor in the university, and she always tear into the exam.
She will always take your exam? Tear it?
Tear it.
Tear it.
Tear into, or tear in half.
Tear it in half. Tear it
Yes.
in half. Okay, so she would...
Yes.
So everybody knows what tear is? To tear something?
Yeah, to cut it, right?
Okay, done. Not to cut it. This is tear. Show. That's tear. Like right in front of Norbert's face. Norbert, I'm gonna cut your exam.
Yes.
So that is tearing, okay? Yeah,
But
that's
she wasn't angry, so you could try it again in another time.
okay. So she came up to you, you were cheating, and she'd smile at you and go like, ha, ha, ha. Come on. Okay, I'm sure she's angry in her head, all right? So teared your exam. Yeah, that's very extreme. That's a lot. That's an extreme punishment. That's, you know, you tear it in front of everyone. So basically you got a 0 on the exam. Like you did not she didn't mark it, you didn't get the grade. You didn't get the mark for it. Right?
Sorry.
If the exam.
Okay, and next let's get Wanderson. So what happened if you were caught for cheating?
Yes, the teacher, if he caught us, he would just give a 0 or an F. But
Okay.
it was not common here because some teachers allowed it. Some teachers here
they allowed cheating.
Mind. Some teachers allowed.
Cheating. Okay, wow. That's okay. Cool. I guess that's all I'll say. Okay. So you get an F or you don't get it marked. Perfect. And next, let's have Willie.
Well, at my school, if you're caught cheating, then usually your test will be.
Sorry, Willie?
You mean in cheating, copy the homework?
Okay, all right. Sorry, there's a lot of noise and I can't hear. Sorry, I'm just gonna mute a couple of people and try to see where this noise is coming from. Ibrahim, I'm sorry, I can't hear what you're saying, but yeah.
You mean in you mean in cheating?
Yes, in cheating. What would be the punishment for that? Okay, hold on a minute, Ibrahim. Okay. There's like a lot of
cheating copy of the homework.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, cheating on homework or cheating on the test. Okay, can everybody please mute themselves because there's very loud static noise coming from somewhere. Okay, I'm just gonna have to go through and like mute everybody otherwise. Okay. Oh my God, can everybody hear that or is it just me?
I can hear it.
You can hear it? Okay. So there's this like crazy static noise coming from somewhere. I'm just gonna go through and mute everyone and see if I can find where it's coming from. Okay, hold on. Oh my God, I muted everybody and still there. No. Okay. I'm not too sure what I can do about it, but I guess we'll just have to live with it, all right? Okay. So Willie, can you hear me? You were cut off. We couldn't hear what you were saying.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. So go ahead. You were saying what is the punishment for cheating in your what was the punishment for cheating in your school?
Well, when you're caught cheating, then the teacher would usually take your test and label it with 0 points, so you fail the test.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Thanks, Willie. Next we have Wolf.
Yeah, the punishment was suspended.
Suspended. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Wolf. Next we have Yuri.
It depends on teacher on teachers. Maybe everything, every variant, really.
Okay, so 0 or suspension. Okay. Thanks, Yuri.
It may be big, a lot of not very good voices and with crash furniture and other. And it may be, be careful, and that's all.
Okay.
It
depends. It depends. Okay, perfect. Thanks, Yuri. And lastly, we have Vera.
Yeah, it also depends on the teacher, I think. Sometimes teachers let you cheat, but they can check it. For example, it's an exam, you can cheat, but then when it's your turn to answer, people will check everything. Do you know the subject or no?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter for him. But there are different teachers who also can just take your paper from what you are cheating, yeah? Or what you are copying something, and you can continue writing without this. If you can't, so you can't. You will fail the exam.
Too bad for you. Okay, yeah. In my school, one of the classmates in my class, they were caught plagiarizing and cheating. So they were all copying from each other, and everybody got a 0 because they couldn't find who the person was that was copying and who the person was who wrote the original report. So they both got 0. Okay. So does everybody know what expulsion and suspension are from school? I'm writing it in the Verbling chat. So a couple of people mentioned that they were suspended. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so what is suspension?
It's like a prohibit.
Prohibit, yeah. So you are temporarily kicked out of school. Okay. So if you are caught cheating, then the first time you might be suspended. So suspended is you don't come to school for a week. All right. So you say, so you're grounded from school. So the principal says you are not going to come to school for 1 week. That is your punishment. Okay. You'll still be expected to know all the work. You'll still be expected to do all the homework, but you are not allowed to come back to school for 1 week. Usually it's 1 week. Okay. What is when you are expelled? When you are expelled, expulsion. What does that mean?
You can't attend classes at all?
You are permanently removed from the school. So the school kicks you out. Okay? So usually it's 3 strikes, all right? So first time you are caught cheating, you get a 0 for your assignment. The second time you're caught cheating, you are suspended. So you are not allowed to come to school for a week. The third time you're caught cheating, you are expelled. So you cannot go back to that school. The school has kicked you out. Okay? So the penalties, the punishment for cheating can be very, very high and very, very devastating if you do not learn your lesson early. Okay? So do you guys think that those are acceptable punishments? Like, you know, first time, get a 0, second time you're suspended, third time you're expelled. Do you think that's an acceptable punishment?
For Russia, it's too strict.
For you, it's too
It's
strict?
very extreme.
Okay, yes. Go ahead, Norbert.
I wanted to say the same.
It's very extreme.
Yes.
Okay. So what would you do if a student kept on cheating? Like, if a student just wouldn't learn his or her lesson, what are acceptable punishments in your opinions? Like, you know, okay, first time, second time, third time, like how many chances can you give someone before they learn their lesson? This is a hard way to teach someone a lesson that, you know, we've given you 3 chances, you haven't listened. I'm sorry, we have no other option but to kick you out of school. That is usually a big wake-up call. Everybody knows what a wake-up call is?
I think
a wake-up call.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. What does it mean, Jarno? Want to tell us?
The person kind of realize what he has done.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's perfectly right. To have a realization. Okay. So to have a realization is to have a wake-up call. So how would you get somebody to realize that what they're doing is wrong and they need to stop? What do you guys think are acceptable punishments? I want to know. So share
Punishment is not fair. If you punish only students, it's not fair. It seems, double standard because sometimes teachers fails. Some teachers fail to recognize their flaws in their teaching methods is not really useful. They want to take the responsibility. They choose. They cut the corners. They easily blame the students.
Okay.
Because if you look at the class, if majority is a problem with this, I think teachers should be responsible. Because a lot of people, a lot of teachers a lot of teachers are avoid to their responsibility.
A lot of teachers avoid their responsibilities.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
In my opinion.
Okay. So what do you guys think about what Wolf said? Norbert, go ahead.
I just wanted to say it isn't common in Europe. So to kick out a student because he cheated, yes.
Okay, all right. So again, so my question stands. Yeah, Jarno, you want to say something?
Yeah. In my opinion, is that I wouldn't say it's teachers responsible. Teachers are not responsible for students' behavior. You know, if they cheat, it's students' problem. It's not teacher's problem.
Okay, all right. So it's the teachers are not to be blamed. I mean, you can't suspend a teacher, you know? You can't suspend a teacher because one of her students cheated, you know? All right. What else? What else do you guys think?
Well, so how about for the first few times, just let the student fail his test, and when it when this happens too often that the student is cheating, then just make him fail the class.
Yeah, so make him fail the class. Make him retake the class. Yeah? Okay, that's, yeah. Do you guys think that's an acceptable punishment?
Yes.
Yeah? Yeah? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah?
Well, at least this way, the student would get another chance and he would get a wake-up call.
Okay, yeah, all right.
So that's my opinion.
Yeah, they'll have another chance and they'll have a wake-up call. Yeah, okay. I think that's acceptable. In like in university, if you fail a course, you just have to retake that course, right? If you fail an entire semester, you retake the semester. But this is failure because of you. You failed because you didn't study, because you didn't know the answers. Okay? What about failure because of, like, you fail a class because you cheated, all right? So basically the punishments are the same then. If you fail because you didn't study, then you retake a class. If you fail because you cheated, you retake a class. You know? So shouldn't cheating have a more extreme punishment? Or more extreme penalty?
I don't think so, because what would it change? It would change nothing, in my opinion. The student himself has to realize that what he's doing is wrong, and by expelling him, wouldn't that be too extreme?
Yeah.
I think it would.
Yeah, so you guys all agree that expulsion is too extreme of a punishment. Yeah, Yuri. Go ahead, Yuri.
Okay. Another side of this problem.
Yeah.
For example, if it's in the United States, you say about commercial university, yes, where students pay for this for their education.
Private universities, yeah.
Yes, and when you retake a semester, he paid full cost of this semester. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but if it's a government university and we wait and these students always cheat on exam, and university let him again and again try to let him continuous education in this university. It's not very good because it's money, and it is very big money. Maybe it's a simple step to kick off the students and let another good students continue this education. Why not?
I think the university and, for example, in high school is different.
Yeah, it is different. Yeah,
you can exploit from the university. It's acceptable, but it's too extreme in the high school.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Jarno.
I definitely agree that high school and university is different, and people, students at high school, they are younger maybe, and they don't.
They make more mistakes. They make more mistakes. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But sorry, I want to say one more thing.
Yeah.
Plagiarism, but is not just only for students. If you look at universities, a lot of professors and teachers use also as a students plagiarism. It's also another point of view. Also, in universities, a lot of professors or teachers or students also sell their exams, papers, and solutions. That's another problem.
Yeah.
And also, I want to add one more thing. I don't believe the exams is a measure your knowledge. It's useless, because exams is, I think, requires students to cram. Am I right? Is a cram.
Cram.
Yeah, cram. When studying after the test, is taken the information studied is almost forgotten. This purpose of the test is gone. It's useless.
Yeah. How many
But
times?
how do you want to measure the students then? You don't have that many opportunities or methods to measure students, so you have to somehow measure students. If not by a test, how else would you measure the knowledge of a student?
Yeah, Ahmed, you had something to say?
Yes, the good students is known actually from the teacher knows everyone.
Okay.
If he's participated, he's an active student or is not.
Okay, that's a good point. But in a university where you have 400 students in a class, what about that?
I am in high school actually.
Okay, all right. Well, in university and in college, you have hundreds of students in a class. How do you know which student participated?
This is a problem, yeah.
Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah. So what Wolf said is, okay, so how many times have you walked out of an exam and you have studied all night the night before, and you walk out of the exam and you're like, thank God that is done. I can forget everything I learned.
Yeah, I mean, they
maybe
don't,
too many times.
Yeah.
Always.
Go ahead, Wolf.
I mean, it's not good method. I think exam. They don't. I mean, students. They don't work to learn. They learn just to. They want to pass the exams. It's,
okay.
I mean, not learning something, or I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, Yuri, you had something to say?
The main aim of your education in university, it's not your knowledge, it's your possibility, your skills to get this knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And
right.
if you have exactly time, for example, 2 months, and you know that after 2 months you must write exam, and if you don't, if you can't get knowledge for this exam, it is your big problem, really. University, he study to understand information.
Mm-hmm. Not stuff it in your brain.
It's not put information in your head. They put only not pattern, maybe pattern for other life. For they give you skills for education.
Yeah, life skills.
Yes, and often I don't know how it's in the United States. In Russia, often when you get offer and when you first day on your job and first phrase what you hear is forget about university. Forget all what you want, what you learn, and in university.
Okay.
In university, it's only
theoretical.
Yes.
Theoretical.
And
so you don't apply what you learn. You just learn the theory behind it. Go ahead.
Yes, and test he don't check your knowledge. He's check your possibility to understand problem, to find a solution, to understand the environment. Yes,
your pattern of thinking. So it's not how much you can memorize. Okay, so it's not how much you can stuff in your brain. It's how you process the information and whether or not you have understood it.
Yeah, that's why some teachers let students use any notes, any papers, just with their own notes, with any schemes and so on. They can use it if they understand. Yeah, it's working.
Yeah, if they don't.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, go ahead, Jarno. And Norbert, do you go?
Yeah, I think Yuri is right about it, and Vera, because, for example, teachers here at Verbling, you didn't learn this at school, did you? You know, you have to apply now everything.
Thank you. It's a good compliment for me, but I'm not.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I left my school maybe 9 years ago.
Now you have to apply what you learned. Norbert, what were you saying?
So there is a very big problem with nobody teach the students how to learn.
How to learn, yeah. So you're just telling them.
It should be an obligatory subject in the elementary school or the high school.
Yes, exactly. I can think of. Go ahead, Norbert.
I think we cheat because there are a lot of to learn, and we
A
don't
lot
know
to
how
learn. A lot to
to
learn.
learn, and we don't know how to learn it easily.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
but sorry, but I think exams is a test is a really expensive because if you look at not in the schools because there are a lot of exam universities require before enter the university. These purpose of these exams not measure your knowledge or just target. These exams are eliminate the people. It is not about knowledge. They put unnecessary question
Stress.
in
Yeah.
in the test is sometimes really is unnecessary.
Yeah.
Some places necessary, but is just to because some universities there is not enough room for everybody. They try to eliminate people.
Yeah.
This is not knowledge.
Yeah.
This is not fair.
And it's also easier for the teacher, right? Like she can read a book and just pick, oh, this is a question, they should know the answer, they should know the answer, they should know the answer. You make a test and you give that test to a student. It's going to be more work for the teacher to think of questions and to make an exam that tests the student's understanding, right? It's easier for a teacher to be like, you should know that the answer to this is this. So you just make a question and the students, if they read that or if they memorized it, they would know the answer. So it's going to be more work for the teacher as well to think of more innovative ways, right? Innovative ways to test somebody's knowledge. Okay. So what do you think are different and better innovative ways to test knowledge? So we can all say that exams they're redundant. Okay. They don't test your understanding. They only test how much you've memorized. So what are some ways that you can innovatively assess somebody's level of knowledge, assess knowledge?
To test
Well, perhaps let the students work on some projects and let them gather into groups and work together.
Okay. All right, Norbert?
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah. And Ahmed, what about you?
By working, absolutely.
Okay. By working. All right.
With groups
all right.
and projects.
Yeah. Groups and projects, presentations. Okay.
Yes.
This will be rather difficult to achieve, wouldn't it? Because there are so many students attending university or college. How do you want to ensure that every individual student gets to work on the project or gets to the knowledge?
Okay, so university is supposed to prepare you for real life, right? Like that's what you go to school for. You want to gain the skills that will help you succeed in the real world. When you start working, do you only work by yourself in a cubicle and never interact with anybody ever?
Of course not.
Of course, that's not how it is,
of course
right?
Not.
It's a teamwork.
Of course not.
Yeah, in the real world, you have to work with people. You have to have teamwork skills. People will not hire you if you don't know how to work in a team. So if your teacher or if your professor says, here's a project, I want this project to be done in groups of 5. So it will be up to you to go find somebody, to go find 4 other people who you need to work with, right? So that is what working in the real world is like. You're not going to be like, okay, my boss gave me this work and I have to do it all by myself and not talk to anybody in the office. That's not what it's like, right? I mean, in the real world, your boss is not going to ask you at the end of the year, okay, everything that you learned, I want you to write it on a piece of paper and give it to me so I can mark it. You guys, yeah? I mean,
yeah, that's true.
For those of us who have jobs, it's not really like that, right?
You have to prove your abilities.
Yeah, so you have to prove your ability. So I for one, I think that you guys are right when you say that group work, teamwork, that's projects, presentations, that's a good way to go about it. But what happens when people, so far we've talked about cheating, like you cheat off your friend's test, you cheat off your friend's exam. What about when you plagiarize? Do you think plagiarism is a bigger crime than cheating?
Of course.
Yeah,
I think it is.
Of course,
Yeah, it
isn't it?
is.
Yeah. So most of you would agree that plagiarism is a bigger crime. So what do you think should be the penalty for plagiarism?
Do you know about funny story with Russian government and professors from university about this problem?
No, do tell us, Yuri.
I don't know why, but they decide to make small research who in their I'm not sure how it's called work for getting degree, for getting PhD, for example. They made a big job. They must made a big job, yes.
Okay.
And a lot of these works was stolen.
It was stolen.
Stolen. Sorry. And now they, I don't know what they decide to do. You don't know.
Okay.
What do you mean? I don't understand what you're speaking about.
Yeah.
About stolen work in our government, stolen PhD works.
Okay, so some people.
I haven't heard about this.
Yeah. When did this happen, Yuri?
You're lucky.
When did this happen, Yuri?
And now they lose their job. Some of them.
Okay.
And it's very funny to see it, really.
Yeah. So
you mean that some people's write instead of others some their work, students work. Oh.
Yeah.
Can I say?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry, just a short story. The Hungarian president of the Republic resigned because a writer found out that he plagiarized, and he got his degree because the dissertation, but he
plagiarized. He plagiarized.
Yes.
He plagiarized. Okay. Yeah. So
actually,
go ahead.
The punishment must be take money from him. Fine.
Take money
right?
fines to find them. Okay.
Yeah.
So
money, sorry. Punishment money from students. You expect money from students.
The person who plagiarizes. So Ahmed.
Students.
Ahmed, do you mean students or do you mean politicians who plagiarize?
Politicians, in bigger circumstances, not the small circumstances like students.
Okay, so in smaller circumstances where students, honestly, students are as poor as they come. So they won't be able to afford or pay if you put a fine on them. So plagiarism, so we can see plagiarism is not something that is a problem in schools or universities. Here Yuri told us that the government plagiarized from PhD students, and same thing with Norbert. So plagiarism is a very serious offense. I won't comment on what the punishment for plagiarism should be if you commit it on such a grand scale. But I don't want to say that plagiarism in university and schools is on a small scale, but it's not, it's not as taken as seriously as when a politician does it. So what do you guys think are acceptable ways to deal with plagiarism in schools and in universities?
I'm sorry, I think I confused in one point in plagiarism. Plagiarism. A lot of, if you look at authors and writers, and I don't know any other significant works, they all works is similar as how we, separate, is inspired and plagiarism.
Okay, all right, that's a good point. So Wolf is saying that authors and poets, what they do is sort of like plagiarism. They take other people's ideas and they write about it. And you guys should not be talking in Russian or whatever language that is, okay?
No,
it's an English class.
I'm not blaming anyone stealing to others' ideas. Just, ideas, if you look at the ideas, maybe words, they use different words, but it's similar. If you look at the compare a lot of book, yeah, maybe they use different words, but main idea is almost 80% is same, is similar. How we separate inspiration and plagiarism, I think is difficult.
Okay, who agrees with Wolf? Who agrees that, and if an idea is the same as somebody else's, then it should be considered plagiarism, or it is considered plagiarism. Do you guys agree with that?
I don't think so. If the idea is the same, that it is automatically called plagiarism. I think you have to differentiate between plagiarism and the same idea, because if there's a certain percentage like 80% taken over from an original work, then you could call it plagiarism. But
plagiarism,
I don't think,
But You don't think the same idea is okay? Last year,
I think.
Yeah, go ahead, Jarno.
I think having the same idea is different than plagiarism, because you know, we have ideas, we have same kind of ideas, but if you take some work, you know, somebody has written a book, somebody has written an article, and then you take his credits and you say it's my work, like you earlier mentioned about it. So that's the thing.
Yeah.
But if you have the same idea and you want to tell about it, and you will say that, okay, Mr. This and that has also same kind of ideas as I have. So I think it's different having the same kind of idea.
But I am going to work to express it on my own and not take his words and use them as my own. Because really the issue is the words, right? You can take an entire passage or an entire story and say it's your own, you know? You could have the same idea, but if you have the same idea, then it is up to you to express it on your own and not take it from somebody else. Okay?
Yes, yeah, exactly. That's the way to do it, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, go ahead, Norbert.
I think the punishment depends on where you use that same what you store. So maybe if you use it for your I have no idea, for your
report or essay.
Yes, then it's a big deal.
Yeah. Even a lot of times, like when you're giving a presentation, like in my school, and if you say something that was, you know, somebody, like I studied science, right? So I would read a lot of papers, and it was my job to put a presentation together after reading the papers. So if I said something in the presentation that my professor thought was very insightful, and I read it in a paper and I said, yeah, no, that was totally my insight. I said that. That was my idea. Even that is plagiarism, because my professor might think that that was my idea and I need credit for it, but it wasn't. I read it in a paper and I did not give the person who actually had that idea credit for it. Does everybody, so last year, a few months ago, did everybody know about this, not the scandal, but what happened between Apple and Samsung?
Yeah, Apple and Google?
Yeah, actually, yes. I heard about it.
Yeah? What did you guys read? What happened? I want someone to tell me.
Well, I think Apple sued Apple because of some infringement of their patents.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there were some features that Samsung was using on their new phones that Apple said were their features. So Apple said that Samsung, in a way, plagiarized those features. And do you know what the penalty? So the judge ruled in favor of Apple. They said, yeah, you know, they stole these ideas. What was the penalty for that?
Well, Samsung had to pay a huge fine, didn't they?
How much did they have to pay?
$3
billion? 3 billion.
I think it was $1 billion. Hold on. Ahmed, you took your headphones off. I can hear my echo. If you want to put the headphones on, that would be nice, because then you can keep yourself unmuted. Okay? So stuff like that. Do you think that was plagiarism, guys? That Samsung used touchscreen just the way Apple uses touchscreen? You think that idea belonged to Apple?
I don't think so, because this is so standard to have a touchscreen, and using smartphones with a touchscreen display, then it shouldn't be a patent that alone belongs to Apple.
Okay. All right. Yuri, what were you going to say?
It is a really difficult problem for developers, computer science sphere, and especially we have a lot of judge process between Google and Apple, between Google and Oracle and another company, big company especially, but it's called patent war, and it's really difficult question. But now the community suggests to set 5 years life cycle for each pattern, especially for software pattern, and for pattern in mobile sphere and and hardware sphere.
Okay.
Because after 5 years, this technology can use other company, but it is really, I think it can take a lot of time, really a lot of time for this decision.
Yeah, and 5 years seems like a long time in the technology sphere. Yeah, go ahead, Ahmed.
Actually, instead of plagiarizing from each other, the two heads, I mean Samsung and Apple, they have good inventors. They can invent better things instead of stealing others' ideas.
And was Apple the first one to come up with touchscreen? Like.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, go ahead, Wolf.
I mean, I don't want to interrupt. Continue after you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think Apple win the case. Yeah, won the case.
Yeah, they won the case. Yeah.
Okay, I think.
Sorry, it was Nokia. Sorry, it wasn't Samsung. It was Nokia. Sorry, guys. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Apple win the case, but I think it's a dilemma. Okay, maybe law is help the Apple prove it's a plagiarism, but on the other hand, Apple want to be, it's a not moral, it's a want to market is a monopoly. Apple wants to make is a monopoly because Apple wants to prevent the other people buy cheaper phone, such as Samsung is cheaper than as Apple. Also another moral issue because seems Apple's right, but it just in superficial. If you look at the deep, but I don't is. We will come across is interesting point, like I said, because Apple just keep the market is a monopoly. It's not right and prevent the people, society buying cheap touchscreen phone. I think in that way, parallelism.
It's immoral, right? Yeah.
Immoral. Yes.
Yeah. So Wolf is saying that Apple said that our idea was plagiarized. Because in essence, they want people only to use their products. They don't want people to go and use Nokia or Samsung or any other products, right? So I agree with you. I think that's very immoral, right? Does anybody want to say anything else on the topic?
Yes. Now Apple.
Go ahead, Yuri. Yeah.
Now Apple must pay Nokia a lot of money. Yeah. I know that the big part of Nokia's profit in one of the quarter last years, it was Apple's money.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
In a report for I don't know how it's called, actionnaire. In the report, okay.
In report, okay, yeah. Okay.
Financial report.
Financial report. Yeah, financial report. Okay, yeah. All right.
It's a lot of money I can find, but we have no time. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. And like I said, these debate classes are not to convince everybody of one thing or the other, but it's a very important thing that. It's a very important issue that comes up in today's world, cheating and plagiarism, and what are acceptable ways to deal with it. I personally think that the fact that Apple won that case and Nokia had to pay $1 billion, I personally think that was wrong. I don't think that was something that was fair that should have happened. All right, but we actually didn't make it through more than one question. But I'm happy that you guys got the opportunity to talk. Did you enjoy the class?
Yes.
No? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, I'm really happy that I can schedule part 2 if you guys are interested, if you want to come back. You guys can let me know, give me feedback on Burbling that you had fun, that you want to continue this topic, and I'll schedule another class or whatever other debate topics you'd like me to schedule. We're actually at the end of the hour, but I want to say Vera and Yuri, and actually everybody, let me just share my screen. Burbling is translating into lots of different languages, all right? So if you go to, so this is the page that you see. If you go down over here, you have this link called Translate Burbling. So if you guys want to help Burbling and help them translate into Russian or, any language that you want, because they're translating into Russian. Jarno, I don't know if they're translating into Finnish, but if you want them to, you can definitely go on that website and tell them, okay? So,
Hina, we can help, but for what? We have come here to learn English.
You will. They're translating from English to Russian, so you're gonna have to understand what is being written in English in order to translate it into your own languages. Okay. So I would invite everybody to go on that link and help translate if they can. I know Norbert does it. Norbert has been helping them translate it into Hungarian. So yeah, so Yuri and Vera, I would invite you to help them out with Russian as well, because I think they're translating it currently. All right, so it'd be really nice. Thank you guys so much for joining me in class. I had a lot of fun listening to your opinions and what you guys had to say. I'll be back in a couple of hours with a grammar class. All right, so if you guys want to join me then, I'd love to have you. All right, thanks everyone. It was really fun.
Thanks for this.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Make sure you go on my Facebook and let me know what you
Thank
thought.
you.
And you're welcome. And what other classes you'd like me to teach. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.